For more on the Biden administration's response to this holiday travel nightmare, let's welcome Wall Street Journal reporter Jacob Passy. Jacob, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Help me understand here, because I have thought that over the years, Southwest is seen as a pretty competent operator, have been very successful. I think they were reporting pretty good earnings as recently as a few months ago. Why is this only a Southwest problem when the weather is bad in so much of the country?
Yeah, they've definitely taken a reputational hit because of this. So a number of factors are at play here. One of the biggest ones being that the software that they rely on to schedule crews, meaning pilots and flight attendants, and figure out where they're going to go next, that essentially broke down over this weekend and into this week. And so they had to return to manual methods of figuring out where the folks were. They didn't really know where many of their employees even were across the country after the storms subsided. And then also Southwest runs their route differently from other airlines. So they kind of hopscotch across the country, whereas other carriers tend to rely on a hub and spoke model where flights are going in and out of a major hub. So you'll see less network-wide use that model, which is different from what Southwest does.
And was this a problem that lots of people were talking about earlier? I mean, were institutional investors saying, Southwest, you really got to upgrade your IT. It's a big problem. You're falling down on the job there. You're going to have a disaster? Or has this kind of surprised everybody?
It's not a huge surprise, according to folks on the inside. We've heard from the pilots and flight attendants unions that, they had been raising the alarm about the antiquated technology that South was using. Officials from the airline have said that they were aware of this and that the software was at the end of its life and that they were going to replace it in the upcoming year. So, timing wasn't on their side in this case. But they are generally reliable. And for what it's worth, over Thanksgiving, they only had, 70 some odd cancellations, and they've weathered other weather problems well in the past. So this was really a confluence of factors in a lot of ways, and how widespread the weather system was really did hurt them in particular. But this was an issue that some folks saw coming.
I guess I'm also wondering what the federal government is going to add to this at this point. I mean, I think you can expect some very uncomfortable hearings for Southwest executives if this story remains in the news. But I mean, there's no really suggestion of wrongdoing. It sounds like it's more a lack of capital allocated to technology. Or is there maybe more to this?
I mean, we're definitely going to see, I would imagine, at least hearing in the Senate Commerce Committee. They have flagged that they are going to look into this issue. I would expect that DOT is also investigating this thoroughly. One of the big things that remains to be seen is exactly how Southwest is going to respond in terms of refunds and reimbursements. Airlines are required to give you a refund if you don't want to rebook with them and your flight has been canceled. But a lot of folks incur thousands of dollars in expenses, renting cars, reserving hotel rooms, booking flights on other airlines. And it remains to be seen exactly how much they're going to be reimbursed by Southwest. And depending on how Southwest does in that department, that could kind of tell us the response we're going to see from the federal government in terms of more hearings, more, penalties, things like that.
And Jacob, before we go, I'm wondering, are there airlines that have stood out for their good performance? We're obviously seeing a lot of headlines now about Southwest and all of these people stranded and where the baggage is going. Are there airlines that either in this issue or over the last few years have really done well on this score?
That's a great question, and it's a tough one to answer because, I feel like over the past couple of years, it's just a game of lottery with these airlines in terms of who's going to be next for having a meltdown. We've seen multiple major carriers have meltdowns, maybe not to this scale, but certainly, if you're someone trying to get somewhere on a flight, it doesn't matter if it's on the scale or not. You're going to be annoyed if your flight is canceled. And so what I would suggest consumers do is just take a look at, the track record for a specific flight they're going to go on or the specific route and look at which carrier is most reliable for that rather than looking at overall performance.
Good call. Okay, thanks, Jacob. Appreciate it.
Thank you.